Well, there you go. I just did battle with a tree limb here that's been damaged since Hurricane Arthur. Crazy how that branch hung on. It was actually growing straight down towards the ground because it was bent and split, and yet it was still had leaves on it. It was growing. It just was drawing everything from the tree though, and it wasn't gonna ever recover. So anyway, I cut it. I finally climbed up there. It was a long ways up, if you can see. Ooh, yeah. It's a long ways up, and I did battle to get it down, but it was the craziest thing. I had it cut so there was only an inch of the tree left hanging on to the branch or to the tree, and it still would not come down. I was grabbing the tree, I threw a rope over it, I was trying to pull it down, and you know what? I had to do everything I could to get that down. Eventually, I just had to cut it all the way through. It was the only way, is to make the cut all the way through. It was so, oh, sorry, there it is there. It was so strongly attached, even though it was damaged. It's amazing. It was amazing. And I guess what I'm thinking is that God really spoke to me during this time. This whole thing, there was a lot of trust too. I tied the ladder to the tree, and then I tied myself to the tree, and I felt safe when I was tied to the tree. And he just spoke to me. Look, if you draw yourself close to me, you will be safe. And I really took comfort in that. Like, it was amazing. Even though I was still at the same height, even though I was still doing the same task up there, I just felt safer when I was drawn to it and tied to the tree. And when I tie myself to you, God, you know, I just have that security in there. And then if you look in the Bible, in John chapter 15, it says, "I am the true grapevine, and my Father is the gardener. He cuts off every branch of mine that doesn't produce fruit, and he prunes the branches that do not bear fruit, so that they produce even more. You have already been pruned and purified by the message I have given you. Remain in me, and I will remain in you. For a branch cannot produce fruit if it is severed from the vine, and you cannot be fruitful unless you remain in me. Yes, I am the vine, and you are the branches. Those who remain in me, and I in them, will produce much fruit. For apart from me, you can do nothing. Anyone who does not remain in me is thrown away like a useless branch and withers. Such branches are gathered into a pile to be burned. But if you remain in me and my words remain in you, you may be asked for anything you want, and it will be granted. When you produce much fruit, you are my true disciples. This brings great glory to my Father." So I know that's a lot, but that's what he spoke to me about. He says, if I don't willingly let him prune the things in my life that are not of God, man, I will stubbornly hold on, even if they're damaged or even if I think they're partially taken away. They will still hang on and drain. They won't allow me to bear fruit. And just like this tree was so difficult to cut through, it was hanging on. It was draining the life. You know, the resources that could have been going to the rest of the tree to keep it healthy was important. But by pruning this tree, it allows the rest of the tree to be strong and healthy. And I pray that God really spoke to me. He says, I gotta let him prune some of these things in my lives. Whether there's unforgiveness towards somebody who has done something to me, or whether, you know, there's something that I've been battling sinfully, you know, that I just won't let go, or there's a desire that I just won't let go. But you know what? Whatever it is, I've got to let him take it completely. Because if not, it's never going to be free from my life, and it's never going to be allowing me to grow closer to him, and grow stronger, and abide and be that true disciple that he actually calls me to be. The ability to love others the way he asked me to do. Anyway, I hope this encourages you. And I know it's just looking at a cut branch, but that's what God was saying to me during this whole process today. And I just wanted to bless anybody who needed to hear that. Love you, and God bless.